What seemed like just another game has suddenly turned into one of the most fascinating stories of the season. One of the team's key players suffered a pelvic injury during the second matchup against Houston last night, and now we have a cryptic message from his agent that's only adding fuel to the fire. What's really happening with his injury? The anticipation surrounding this situation is growing by the hour, and today we're diving deep into all the latest developments. First, it's worth mentioning that our community here continues to grow rapidly, with over 10,000 new members joining recently, all eager to stay up to date with daily videos breaking down every twist and turn surrounding this team. Even though I'm not feeling my best today, I'm here, determined to keep you informed with all the crucial updates. The phrase "pray for me and the bear" has been bouncing around lately, and trust me, we're going to get into the heart of what that really means. Right now, the biggest thing everyone is waiting on is the MRI results, which are expected to shed some much needed light on the situation. So far, the only official communication we've received is this mysterious message from the player's agent, and you can imagine how quickly that sent the entire fan base into a frenzy. In just a little bit, I'll break down exactly what was said, so stick around because there's a lot to unpack. Adding even more intensity to the situation, one major sports outlet picked up the story, reporting that the agent had sent a cryptic text message to a well-known NBA insider regarding the player's injury. At this moment, we're all just anxiously awaiting the MRI results, hoping for some clarity. While recording this, it's around 6 o'clock in the evening here in San Francisco. And even though that mysterious message might seem concerning to some, personally, I'm just eager to see the MRI report and get some solid answers. That's really the only thing that matters now. Let's talk about what actually happened. The tweet that set the internet on fire came directly from NBA coverage at ESPN. A reporter shared that the player's agent had sent out a message saying, "I'll pray for the bear." And of course, that phrase spread like wildfire across social media. Instantly, fans and analysts alike were speculating about what it could possibly mean. I have to admit, when I first saw it, my mind went in a totally different direction. I thought maybe there was some obscure reference, maybe even connected to one of my favorite shows, The Bear. It's a fantastic series, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely should. But what could it possibly have to do with this player's injury? Honestly, I had no idea. Naturally, some people started digging, trying to uncover the deeper meaning behind the agent's cryptic words. But here's the thing. It really wasn't all that complicated once you took a step back. The mascot for the Houston team is literally a bear. That's it. So when the agent said "pray for the bear," he was essentially throwing a playful jab, hinting that once this injured player makes his return, the Houston mascot, and by extension the Houston team, better watch out. That's the general interpretation that has been floating around, and frankly, it makes the most sense. Still, all jokes aside, what we really need is the MRI results. Apparently, there's some optimism inside the team's camp that the injury isn't too serious. The head coach has already spoken publicly, saying he's not overly concerned at this point, which is definitely a reassuring sign. They're drawing some comparisons to another pelvic injury a different player on the team suffered last month. Believe me, after spending so much time recently talking about injuries, I'm starting to feel like I could moonlight as a medical analyst. We've gone deep into the details around these injuries lately, and what's clear is that they can vary a lot. Some are relatively minor, while others can seriously sideline a player for weeks or even months. It's worth remembering that this same player dealt with a very similar situation back in 2023. That incident also involved a rough fall during a game against a major rival, resulting in a similar pelvic issue. At the time, it wasn't the most promising outlook, but he managed to bounce back quickly and put up some incredible performances almost immediately afterward. He had a few standout games right after recovering, showing that he's more than capable of returning to top form even after setbacks like this. So that's another reason for cautious optimism right now. Everything we're discussing, everything spreading online, it all traces back to this single cryptic message. And when you strip it down, the agent was pretty clear. Pray for the bear isn't some secret code. It's a playful warning that this player, once healthy, is going to come back swinging, ready to make life miserable for the opposition. Throughout this series, we've gathered a lot of insights just by closely observing the situation. The agent, At the center of all this, Bernie Lee has definitely captured the moment with his message. His comment about praying for the bear underlines a bigger point. When this player feels wronged or hurt, he channels that emotion into his game and becomes even more dangerous on the court. That's why there's growing optimism about his availability for the upcoming Saturday game, as the series shifts back to his team's home court. It's shaping up to be an incredibly physical and intense matchup, with both teams desperate to take the lead. One thing fueling the tension even more is the speculation around a specific play where there are whispers that an opposing player might have intentionally undercut him. Watching the replay, it does look suspicious, but personally, I don't think there was any malicious intent. It seemed more like a situation where the player took advantage of positioning during a chaotic moment. Of course, opinions vary, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. This series is playoff basketball at its grittiest, and every little moment feels amplified 100 times over. The reality is, if history is any indicator, this player knows how to come back from adversity stronger than ever after that injury. 2 years ago, he exploded for 56 and 42 points in games 4 and 5 of that playoff series. That's the kind of fire and resilience he brings every time he faces a setback. And it's exactly why fans and teammates are hopeful right now. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little off today. Like I said earlier, I'm not feeling great. But I wanted to make sure you got the full picture. The bottom line is that if the MRI results come back clear, we might be witnessing another classic comeback story unfold in real time. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's about 6:15 in San Francisco, and we're still waiting on those official updates. Every fan here and around the world is holding their breath, waiting to see if their star will be ready to go when it matters most. More updates are on the way as soon as we hear anything, but that's where things stand right now. What initially seemed like just another chapter in a long playoff series has quickly evolved into one of the most fascinating storylines we have seen this season. One of the team's cornerstone players suffered a pelvic injury during the second game against Houston, and what followed was a wave of speculation that no one could have predicted. Adding to the mystery, we received a cryptic message from his agent that has everyone trying to decode what is really happening behind the scenes. Is the injury serious? Will he be back soon? The questions are endless, and today we are diving deep into every detail surrounding this incredible situation. It is amazing to see how our community has exploded recently, with over 10,000 new members joining to stay updated on the latest happenings with the team. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, even though I'm not feeling 100% today. There was no way I was going to miss the chance to bring you all the information we have so far. Now, one phrase has been repeated over and over again, sparking endless debates and wild theories. Pray for me and the bear. We will get to the real meaning behind this message shortly, because it is a lot more straightforward than people initially thought. Right now, the main event everyone is waiting for is the MRI results, which are expected to reveal the true extent of the injury. So far, there has been no official medical update, just that enigmatic statement from the agent, which naturally sent fans into a spiral of speculation. Soon, I will break down what exactly was said and what it might mean for the team's immediate future, so stay tuned because this story only gets crazier. An already tense situation gained even more momentum when a major sports outlet picked up the story. And they reported that the agent had sent a mysterious text to a prominent NBA insider regarding the player's injury status. That single text ignited a wildfire across social media platforms, news channels, and fan groups alike. As I sit here recording this, it is about 6 o'clock in San Francisco, and honestly, even though a lot of people are concerned, I'm trying to stay calm. It feels like everyone is desperately clinging to every tiny piece of information, hoping for some clarity, but for me, the only thing that matters right now is seeing those MRI results. Until then, everything is just noise. Let us talk about the moment everything exploded online. The tweet that started it all came from NBA coverage on ESPN. According to the report, the agent's message simply said, "Pray for the bear immediately." Fans, analysts, and casual viewers alike started speculating. What could it mean? Some thought it was a reference to the popular TV show The Bear, which, by the way, is an excellent series that definitely deserves more awards and recognition. I admit my first reaction was similar. I thought maybe the player or the agent was referencing the show in some obscure way. But once the dust settled and people looked at the situation more closely, it became pretty clear. It turns out that Houston's team mascot is literally a bear. So the agent's message, "Pray for the bear," wasn't some deeply coded message or hidden cry for help. It was a playful, confident warning. It hinted that once the injured player returns, he will be coming back with a vengeance, ready to make life very difficult for Houston and anyone who stands in his way. That interpretation makes the most sense, and it also fits perfectly with the player's well-known mentality. He's someone who thrives on adversity and uses it as fuel to elevate his game to another level. Despite the jokes and memes that followed the agent's message, the truth is we are all still waiting anxiously for the MRI results. Thankfully, some sources close to the team have shared that there is optimism about the injury not being severe. The head coach also addressed the media, saying that he's not overly concerned and suggesting that this might be more precautionary than anything else. That is a relief to hear, but until we get that final confirmation, everyone is holding their breath. Interestingly, the coaching staff compared this current injury to one suffered by another player on the team just a month ago, also involving the pelvic area. After spending so many days recently studying and discussing injuries, I'm starting to feel like an honorary medical expert at this point. Pelvic injuries, depending on the severity, can either be minor setbacks or serious problems that keep players out for extended periods. Context is key, and right now it sounds like the situation leans more toward the minor side. But again, nothing is certain until the medical team officially announces it. We should not forget that this player has a track record of bouncing back quickly from injuries. Back in 2023, he suffered a remarkably similar injury during a heated matchup against a major rival. At the time, the injury looked bad, and the initial reaction was one of concern. But what happened next was truly inspiring. He returned to action shortly after and put up some of the best performances of his career, dropping 56 points in one game and 42 in the next. That resilience, that ability to rise after setbacks, is a big reason why there's still so much hope surrounding his current situation. Everything that has been unfolding, the cryptic message, the social media frenzy, the media speculation, it all ties back to that same resilient spirit. The agent's "pray for the bear" message, when you really think about it, is perfectly on brand. It is not about fear or despair. It is about sending a signal that the player is ready to come back stronger and hungrier than ever, ready to dominate. That is what fans are clinging to right now. As we have been following this story closely, one thing that has become clear is that the player's agent, Bernie Lee, knows exactly what he is doing. By choosing those words carefully, he managed to capture the attention of everyone, fans, media, even opponents. His comment about praying for the bear speaks volumes about the kind of fire the player carries inside him, especially when faced with adversity. There's a real chance we could see him back on the court as soon as Saturday when the series returns to their home arena. If he is anywhere close to full strength, he could be the game changer his team desperately needs. Meanwhile, this playoff series is becoming more physical and more heated by the game. There is already a ton of discussion surrounding a particular play where an opposing player might have intentionally undercut him. Watching the replays, you can see why some people think it looks suspicious. Personally, I am not convinced it was dirty play. It looked more like a case of a player taking advantage of positioning, maybe even just an unfortunate accident. Either way, it adds even more fuel to the fire in what is already a brutally competitive series. If history has taught us anything, it is that this player knows how to turn pain into performance. After his previous injury 2 years ago, he responded by putting up numbers that only a handful of players in NBA history have matched. 56 points in Game 4, 42 points in Game 5. Those are not just good performances, they are legendary. That is the kind of impact he can have when he locks in and channels his energy the right way. I know I might sound a little off today. Again, I'm not feeling my best, but I wanted to make sure you had all the latest details. The bottom line is simple. If the MRI comes back with good news, we are looking at the potential return of a player who could completely change the trajectory of this series. As of right now, it is about 6:15 in the evening here in San Francisco. And like everyone else, I'm glued to my phone refreshing for updates. This fan base, this entire region, even fans across the globe are all holding their breath, waiting for any shred of news about their star's health. It is unbelievable how fast things have escalated, and hopefully we will have some real answers very soon. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NBA, Domantas Sabonis has officially joined the Golden State Warriors, marking a significant change in both his career and the Warriors roster. The Lithuanian center, who has been one of the most consistent and versatile big men in the league, will be signing a 4-year deal, solidifying his future with the storied franchise. Sabonis has long been recognized for his elite passing ability, basketball IQ, and rebounding prowess. Having spent several successful years with the Sacramento Kings, the 27-year-old has established himself as one of the premier centers in the NBA. His ability to facilitate offense from the post, combined with his ability to score and rebound at a high level, makes him a perfect fit for the Warriors system. The Warriors, known for their fast-paced, ball movement-heavy style, have made a major acquisition that could alter the dynamics of their front court. Sabonis brings not only size but also a unique skill set that complements the Warriors' perimeter shooters like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. His presence on the court will allow Golden State to play with more versatility, as he can act as both a traditional center and a secondary playmaker. This is an asset that head coach Steve Kerr is undoubtedly excited to incorporate into his offensive and defensive schemes. While Sabonis' offensive game is undoubtedly impressive, his ability to dominate on the glass and provide solid defense in the paint will be crucial for a Warriors team that has sometimes lacked a consistent inside presence. Sabonis' rebounding in particular should bolster Golden State's efforts in securing key possessions, especially in tight games where second chance opportunities are critical. The signing is also a statement of intent by the Warriors as they aim to remain competitive in a Western Conference that continues to become more challenging. With the likes of the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and Los Angeles Lakers all improving their rosters, the Warriors are not resting on their laurels. Sabonis adds another layer to their already potent lineup, and his ability to create mismatches in the post could prove to be the difference maker in high-stakes matchups come playoff time. The Warriors' move to secure Sabonis on a 4-year contract is also a significant step in the franchise's long-term planning. His age and skill set suggest that he could play a pivotal role for years to come, offering both present-day contributions and future growth. As the Warriors continue to chase championships, the addition of Sabonis adds a new dimension that could help them reclaim their spot atop the NBA hierarchy. The excitement surrounding Sabonis' arrival at Golden State is palpable, and his signing promises to be a major storyline throughout the upcoming season. With his arrival, the Warriors' championship aspirations are firmly in the conversation, and Sabonis is poised to play a key role in the pursuit of yet another title for the Bay Area. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.